Hello and welcome to the agenda. I am Ajay Kaul. Today in this episode we'll discuss about how corona vaccine diplomacy has enhanced India's stature in the world. In the fight against coronavirus pandemic, several countries around the world are using vaccine as a route to enhance their global influence. However, India has taken a huge lead by starting deliveries to its neighbors and a number of other countries. For this, accolades are pouring in from across the globe. So, what does it mean for India? We will try to analyze this subject in this episode of the agenda. We have with us Ambassador Dr. Deepak Vora and Ambassador Mr. Ashok Sajanhar. But before we begin our conversation, let's have a look at this small report.
Even as a huge coronavirus vaccination program is underway within the country, India has started supplying the vaccines to a number of other countries like Nepal, Bangladesh, Maldives, Mauritius, Myanmar, Seychelles and Brazil. Afghanistan and Sri Lanka are next in line. The deliveries of millions of doses are either in the form of gifts or sales. Thus, India has taken a huge lead in reaching out to other nations with medical help to overcome the unprecedented challenge, even as a number of other nations are also trying to do so. For the special gesture, India has won hearts across the world. In a tweet, the US State Department has said, "We applaud India's role in global health, sharing millions of doses of COVID-19 vaccine in South Asia." India's free shipments of vaccine began with Maldives, Bhutan, Bangladesh and Nepal and will extend to others. India is true friend using its pharma to help the global economy. Brazilian president went to the extent of likening it to the Sanjeevani booty which Lord Hanuman ferried to save a wounded Lakshman in Ramayana. So clearly India's stature is getting bigger and bigger in the Committee of Nations with this masterstroke of vaccine diplomacy. Bureau Report.
Now let's welcome our guests, Ambassador Vora and Ambassador Sajanhar. Welcome to the program, both of you, sir.
Thank you.
So let me first go to Ambassador Sajanhar. So you know about India has started sending supplies of vaccine, coronavirus vaccine, to a number of countries, initially to neighbors and then others. So how do you think it will translate into enhancing India's stature?
Well, I think it definitely enhancing goodwill for India. There are two basic foreign policy paradigms that are being utilized by India in this regard. You'll recall that Prime Minister Modi has always spoken about the philosophy on which India's foreign policy is based is that of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
Right.
That means the whole world is a family. And he's also mentioned that the vaccines that are manufactured in India will be used not only for India and Indian people, but they'll be used for the benefit of humanity, of mankind, of the whole world. So that is one thing, and he is India's supply of vaccines, whether it is to Brazil, it is to Morocco. We already sent yesterday 2 million doses of vaccines to them. So this is in that context. And the second I would say is in the context of neighborhood first policy. That was enunciated by Prime Minister Modi at the beginning of his first term in 2014. And in that context, all the medicines, all the vaccine doses that have gone out, whether it's 2 million to Bangladesh, 1 million to Nepal, Bhutan also, and Maldives, Seychelles, Mauritius, all of them. They have Afghanistan and Sri Lanka. We are waiting because they have not been able to get their approvals as yet. So basically, it's also the neighborhood first policy because we are reaching out to them. And of course, this vaccine Maitri or friendship vaccine that is being supplied to our friends and partners and allies, it of course has raised the stature of India, because if we look around, of course you said at the beginning that there is a competition for supplying vaccines to different countries. I don't think that is strictly correct, because Pfizer and Moderna, in any case, DGWHO, his credibility of course is rock bottom by the manner in which he's handled this virus.
No, I didn't.
This pandemic.
Ambassador, I didn't say competition. I said race. There is a race going on. Maybe because China is also doing.
Okay. Race, I take it as a competition really, because I don't think, even China, its iron friend Pakistan, it has not supplied any vaccine to it. For instance, Shah Mahmood Qureshi was jumping in his shoes, saying that China has promised us
Gift.
500,000 doses
They say gift.
by the end of this month, and they said, you please send your aircraft and we will send the vaccines to you. And here India has, within a day of announcement, provided 2 million doses to Bangladesh,
Right.
1 million to Nepal. So, the point is, I don't think there is a race. In any case, Pfizer and Moderna are far, they are beyond the reach of developing countries. So they are about 5,000 rupees a dose or something of that sort. Ambassador Dr. Deepak Vora is there with us, and he'll be able to.
I want to ask
that country.
Ambassador Vora.
So the point I'm making is that I don't think there is much of a race. I think India is far ahead in terms of the unilateral, voluntary measures that it has taken. Okay.
So I'll say that India has already won the race. I'll put it like that. Maybe Ambassador Vora. So has India already won the race, because China was also trying to lure everybody that will send you vaccine, including its so-called friend Pakistan.
Mr. Kaul, thank you very much for this opportunity to interact with you, learn from you, and from that brilliant mind, also known as Ashok Sajanar, Ambassador Ashok Sajanar, that is on your panel. His knowledge, experience, and wisdom is unrivaled. And what I'm wearing here, my T-shirt, it says limited edition. That's a reference to Ambassador Ashok Sajanar. Sir, I would not like to demean India's effort in fighting the Chinese virus by calling it vaccine diplomacy. The wisdom of Chanakya, if you heard this, is totally relevant today. 4 साल पहले उन्होंने कहा था, whoever helps you at the time of illness is your true brother in the real sense.
China has sent its visiting card to over 200 countries. It says virus. India is now sending its own card. It says vaccine. As of this moment, sir, I'm told that almost 100 countries have asked India for the vaccine, as the word spread that our vaccines are showing negligible side effects since the immunization drive began on 16 January. And in 6 days, 10 lakh logon ko vaccine lagana. Are we joking? I mean, what kind of a country are we? We can rise to any occasion. There's this tiny little place which I'm sure Ambassador Sajanar has also visited, Dominica in the Caribbean. Unki abadi 1 lakh se kam hai. And he has written to our Prime Minister saying, with great humility and respect, please assist us by donating the doses we need to make our population safe. Bhutan, Maldives, Bangladesh, Nepal, Seychelles, Myanmar, Mauritius, ये सब मांग रहे हैं. Afghanistan मांग रहा है, Sri Lanka मांग रहा है. This is, as Ambassador Ashok Sajanar said, neighborhood first. सबसे पहले सर हम अपने पड़ोसियों के साथ करेंगे, उसके बाद बाकी दुनिया. 100 देश मांग रहे हैं आपसे. अभी joking, of course we all know that we are the world's largest producer, but we're also the best producer of vaccine. Let me put it very bluntly to you, sir, and I hope this ping pong fellow in China is watching. You, Mr. Ping Pong, have given the world an example of your power to hurt. Narendra Modi has given the world the power of its example to heal. This is the difference between India and China.
Ambassador Vora, I want to actually highlight that China, while trying to, if you talk about neighborhoods, our neighborhood, China was trying to lure our neighbors like Nepal, Bangladesh, of course Pakistan is there, like by promising that we'll be sending you our vaccine. But it appears that they have rejected that offer and taken Indian. So that is why I'm saying that India has won that race.
So, this is very common. I mean, Xi Jinping has gone around promising the vaccine to all and sundry. Turkey says the effectiveness, because Turkey is a big chamcha of China, is 90%. Some other countries said it's 50%. Thailand has stopped imports. They say we want more information. Peru had suspended trials. So everything varies. It varies from 0 to 100%, except Pakistan. पाकिस्तान तो 420% बोलेगा ना, 420 देश है, तो वो तो बोलेगा कि मेरी इसकी वैक्सीन की इफेक्टिव है. अरे 5 लाख आपको वैक्सीन मिल रही है डोजेस, तो ऐसे उछल रहे हो. अभी प्लीज फॉरगिव माय एक्सप्रेशन, दे मे बी यंग पीपल वाचिंग दिस. इट्स लाइक ऑलमोस्ट एन ऑर्गेजमिक एक्सटेसी. अजी 5 लाख फोकट में मिल गई. फोकट में मिल गई भाई, तुमको 5 लाख का जो कीमत है उससे ज्यादा तू खर्च करेगा अपना जहाज भेजकर, और फिर वहां पे उसके लैंडिंग चार्जेस, पार्किंग चार्जेस सब देने पड़ेंगे. चीनी ऐसे नहीं माफ करते सर. चीनियों ने फिर से साबित कर दिया है, मेरे भगवान का नाम, माई गॉड इज मनी, एंड इंडिया हैज शोन द वर्ल्ड दैट ह्यूमैनिटी is India's God.
So, Ambassador Sajjan Har, if we again focusing on neighborhood, so while everybody, all countries of the neighbor, I mean all our neighbors have asked for vaccine, not Pakistan. So, what does it tell you? I mean, the rivalry still, dominating rather than human welfare?
No, absolutely, because I think India has said that it is quite open, meaning if it were to get a request from Pakistan, I'm sure we will look at it and we will consider it on its merit. Because I think humanity and saving human lives and people, I think their politics does not really come in, and India has shown in more ways than one that, when we had to bring back those who were stranded from Yemen, those who were stranded in Nepal when the earthquake took place, etc., we didn't sort of, stand on what are our relations with this particular country. We are there when it comes to humanity. We are there to extend a helping hand to each and every one. So, irrespective of the fact that what Mr. Oli has done last year by sort of, issuing these maps and making these absolutely absurd and ridiculous comments that Kalapani, Limpadhuria and all the other areas, 375 square kilometers, that belongs to Nepal, because, he was, first of all, wanting to please his masters in Beijing, and secondly, he wanted to sort of, use a hyper-nationalistic card so that he could stay in position, and also making statements like, Lord Ram did not come from India, Ayodhya. He was not born in India. He was born near Janakpur and Nepal. So, we have not paid much attention to all these things. When Nepalese foreign minister came to us last week on 14th and 15th January and made a request for these vaccines, within a week, 1 million doses have been with them. Similarly, I think, Bangladesh, of course, it is a golden period of our bilateral partnership, and we have gone out, and both the foreign minister and the health minister were there in person to receive the 2 million doses of vaccine that India has sent. And the health minister said that India came to our rescue in 1971 during the Liberation War. And this time also India has come to our rescue to deal with this vicious scourge and the virus that is affecting the whole world, and we know who our true friends are. So I think this neighborhood first policy, reaching out to them in a very proactive manner, because I think this is what we have been saying, and I'm sure Dr. Deepak Gora, who has such huge experience, and of course he is incomparable in terms of his felicity in expressing, very fine and subtle points. And he has mentioned that, we really need to depend on our strengths. What are our strengths? We cannot, as far as money is concerned, we don't have such deep pockets as China has.
Right.
But our strengths are empathy, our strengths are compassion. Even far away, you look at when we supply this 2 million doses on commercial basis to Brazil. The Brazilian president, he sends out a message to the Prime Minister, and he gives an image of Hanuman, and he says that this the
Sanjeevani Booty
coming to us are like Sanjeevani coming to us, as he thanks his friend Prime Minister Modi. So I think this is what comes to us very naturally and very normally. I agree with what Ambassador Dr. Deepak Gora has said, that we shouldn't really be calling it diplomacy, because diplomacy would mean that there is some hidden agenda or, underhand objectives. And that is not it. I think it comes very naturally to us when people or countries are in need, are in dire stress, we go out to help them.
Medical help, basically medical reach out. So Ambassador Vora, so if we talked about Pakistan. So I will assume that India stands ready to help the people of Pakistan in this crisis. But how do you see the attitude of Pakistan? I mean the Pakistan government. When we talk about Pakistan, I will talk about the Pakistan regime.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Kaul. Ambassador Ashok, you said that diplomacy suggests that we have an agenda. This program is called Agenda. So I have no issue with the agenda.
Our agenda is to highlight important issues.
Thank you very much. You also mentioned, Ambassador, that China has deep pockets. Well, it's bringing many, many holes in its pockets. Last year, you might recall, Mr. Kaul, even before the vaccine issue was being discussed, we had supplied hydroxychloroquine, remdesivir, paracetamol, masks, gloves, PP. We had sent it all across the world, including to the United States, and the maverick president, who is now disgraced, he even said, America will never forget India has been great. Right or wrong, you take it, you leave it, it was the president of the United States. So before I answer your question about Pakistan, let me flag the difference between India and China for the millions of people who are watching this show. Rare earth is a group of 17 minerals that aren't normally found easily. And in 2010, Japan and China had a little takkar. Unki pani ke jahaz aapas mein takraye. So China banned export of rare earth to Japan to teach them a lesson. And what did the Japanese and the Americans do? They went to the WTO, which gave two rulings, the World Trade Organization, in support of Japan and the United States. China bola, yeah, we are doing this for conservation and environment reasons. They said, rubbish, you are doing this because you want to punish Japan. As Ambassador Ashok Sajan pointed out, this maverick Prime Minister of Nepal has been offending us at every opportunity for the past few years. Did we say we won't give you the virus? Sir, this is the greatness of India. और आपसे एक request है sir, मुझे अब एक नई पतलून चाहिए, because the way India has handled this, I've grown 6 inches taller. You pay for it, or Ambassador Ashok Sajan. The Prime Minister said every Indian stands taller. So do I. As far as Pakistan people are concerned, I don't know if you've been monitoring some of the Twitter feed. I have.
I do.
And many of them have said, many have commented, look at India giving it free. Look at China saying, get your plane.
Even Washington Post has written an article how India is helping out all countries.
And the Wall Street Journal said the rich countries should take a leaf from India's book. What India is doing for the rest of the world as the pharmacy of the world. But for the Pakistani people, if they pressure their government, and I don't think that Imran, I don't think that fellow is going to beg us because the army will boot him out. But even if he sends a polite request, I'm sure it will be given the consideration it deserves. Because we are not so concerned about the few generals who run the country, sir. It's the 220 million people of Pakistan. उन्होंने क्या बिगाड़ा है किसी का that they are suffering.
That is why I was trying to make a distinction. That is why I was trying to make.
I'm sure we will take a proper decision. Sir, the World Bank's most recent Poverty and Shared Prosperity report, abhi aayi hai, says that this Chinese virus will push 10 crore people into extreme poverty, has already done it in 2020 alone, and will lead to an increase in global poverty for the first time in 20 years. ये क्या देश है China, sir? Driving the world into poverty, बातें बड़ी करते हैं. And India quietly, in a very dignified way, strong assurance to the international community. What did your Prime Minister say? That I want to give one assurance to the global community. India's vaccine production and delivery capacity will be used to help all humanity.
Right.
इससे बड़ी चीज क्या हो सकती है, sir? Let the Pakistanis listen to it. Let them ask, and they will get an appropriate response.
So, Ambassador Sajanhar, when we talk about vaccine, Indian vaccine, I cannot stop myself from comparing it with Chinese vaccine, which has now lost credibility in Brazil, Brazil has now preferred Indian vaccine, and I think the credibility of Chinese products are under question, because if you see the supplies of PPE during Corona, at the height of Corona, or the masks, they were rejected in Italy, Greece and other countries because they found them very faulty, and so does that also maybe affect, countries hesitant to take it from China? Maybe there are questions about
No, I
credibility?
think, you see, Ajay, what is happening is that the trust factor and the credibility factor as far as China is concerned, I think that is under huge stress because you look at it, the manner in which the virus emanated from Wuhan. And, you know, right now I was having a look at it, 17th of November in 2019. And all these reports were coming out that this was something very new, a new pneumonia virus, but Chinese authorities and particularly Xi Jinping, you know, because the information came to him also, and they kept sitting on it and they didn't even inform the WHO. And the WHO was also so complicit because, you know, there is so much of deception and non-transparency. So that has taken the world quite by surprise because they closed up Wuhan, but they allowed all the people who were there to leave and go all across the world. You know, the first affected case was found just there on the 13th of January of 2020. Still, WHO or China, they did not think it fit
But
to
Ambassador Sajjan Hara, I may point out that Chinese put restrictions on domestic travel, but not on international travel during when Wuhan
Exactly,
interrupted.
that's the point that I'm making. That's the point I'm making.
That's the danger.
Total lockdown on Wuhan. They would not allow the people from there to go out to to other parts of the country. But millions of people left Wuhan and went outside the country. And that is how this virus traveled all over, whether, you know, to the Chinese populace in Italy, to the United States, everywhere it went. And then at the WHO meeting, the World Health Assembly meeting in May, Xi Jinping goes there and he announces that I'm going to offer $2 billion. And, you know, the world starts jumping up and down that, you know, look at how large-hearted the Chinese are, they are going to be offering. We have not heard of that $2 billion as far as the world is concerned now. They are sort of, you know, asking for every penny, or whatever they are supplying, they are asking every penny. So they are they have, as we were talking,
But because of
$4 trillion of foreign exchange reserves, and they have devastated the economy around the world.
Right.
190 out of 193 countries have been affected. So the short point I was making, Ajay, is that the credibility of China is down. You know, it is in the dumps.
Right.
Absolutely abysmally low.
Right.
And as compared to that, of course, and even on absolute scale, as far as India is concerned, you know, people look upon it that when you commit something, you deliver. And that, I think, is again being proven as far as this vaccine Maitri is concerned. You know, let's call it the friendship vaccine, not the vaccine diplomacy.
Right.
Because that is the way that India would like it to be understood and appreciated.
So, Ambassador Vora wants to say something. I think...
Just very quickly, sir. You've very little time left. I'm just going to quote China's son-in-law, the Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros. So वो बोलता है, he tweets that India continues to take decisive action and demonstrate its resolve to end the pandemic. Whereas that character called Bill Gates, one of the richest people in the world, said, great to see India's leadership in scientific innovation and vaccine manufacturing capability as the world moves to end the pandemic. I conclude, sir, by saying on the virus, China lied. People died.
But it's
and
not...
to all the countries that now see India as a role model, that if they have to choose between India and China, they choose India. मैं उनको याद दिलाता हूँ about that Pepsi ad. यही है right choice, baby.
Right. But Ambassador Vora, it's not when China lied. I mean, WHO was also carried away, or maybe it misled, and it has now put a credibility question on the WHO also, particularly the Secretary General.
No question
Or
about
DG,
it.
sorry,
The man
Director
just
General.
He refuses to go. He has 2 million deaths on his hand. How does he sleep at night? He's liable to be named the greatest mass murderer in history. Had he exercised his prerogative and not said, Ji huzur to China, so many lives could have been saved. That's what Donald Trump said. That's why he quit the WHO. Like Donald Trump or hate Donald Trump, he took a decision that he thought was putting across the point, and he did it effectively.
But now finally WHO has sent a team to Wuhan to investigate. So will they find something right now?
एक साल के बाद Thank you very much. If you hope that even 2 of those chaps were not even allowed to go inside China, I don't think they'll find anything. They'll come back. And the report, I can tell you, I can write it now. We found that there might be the possibility that something could have happened. Everything will be might and if and but and could and would. Nobody's going to give you a clear thing. The Chinese will never allow them. That is quite clear. So China is not India. We are a free democratic society. Look at all the criticism on the media, mass media, social media about our vaccine. And look at China where everybody swears, ye to Bhagwan hai, hamara ping pong.
So by now China must have done all whitewashing, isn't it?
Of course, they have removed every evidence of that, sir. I mean, the Chinese are very good at destroying evidence. Look at what they did to that fellow Ma Yun. आप उसको Jack Ma के नाम से जानते हैं. उसको भी वायरल किया, 2 महीने के लिए गैप हो गया. Now he has come back. Ambassador Sajjanath, please bring him up and congratulate him on it.
So we had to conclude. I want to ask Ambassador Sajjanath last question about WHO team visiting Wuhan now after 1 year or more than 1 year. So what is the purpose? I mean, what are they telling the world?
It's a whitewash. It is to put everything under the carpet, really, because after 1 year, when the wet market from where the virus emanated, when that has been closed down, they are not allowing the team to go and visit the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
Right.
They have been quarantined for 2 weeks. They are being asked to conduct their investigations over, over internet through webinar conversations and all. Why did they need to come to China if they had to sort of, just interact with their interlocutors in China through the webinar format, through the virtual format? There was no need for them to come to China. They are now holed up in the hotels for 2 weeks. So I think it is a whitewash. It's an eyewash for the international community, as it is
China.
Them. It took such a long time. So I think...
Sir, China is the only country in the world where the results of the next 20 elections have already been decided.
Pardon me, I couldn't hear you. Please.
The results of the next 20 elections in China have already been decided.
Right. So, but...
and whatever elections take place...
Yeah, whether elections take place...
And if they do ever.
So we know what China is, and we know India stands out, and India is proving itself again that it is a world leader. But the time of this program today is over. Thank you both of you for participating.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Great honor.
This is all in the agenda today. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with another important topic on Monday. Till then, goodbye.